Phasesmith Karax. I have been looking for you.
Artanis, praise
Your
the
nerve
gods.
cords, they must be removed.
It was done by the Dark Templar. I am free of the Kala's corruption. Are there others?
I have saved all that I could. Come, we must escape this world before time runs out.
Escape? How?
The Spear of Adun still rests beneath the ruins of Kor Shakal. Its generators are ancient, but a Phasesmith of your ability will know how to bring them online.
The Spear of Adun. I am honored to have the opportunity. This is fortune we cannot ignore.
Indeed. Come, we must go at once. The Spear of Adun lies dormant beneath the heart of the Conclave. I had hoped to raise it, to secure our victory against the Zerg. But now, it is our last hope for survival.
Artanis, why do you flee from your salvation?
Selendis. She has fallen under Amon's control. Karax, we have to bring the Spear of Adun online.
The first power cell is activating, but the remaining 4 have been disabled by creep.
I see. We have no choice but to clear them. What of our defenses?
Unfortunately, they are without power. However, the Spear of Adun's support systems can aid us. They will allow us to deploy pylons anywhere on the battlefield. We should deploy one here as soon as possible. Power transfer completed. The Spear of Adun is ready to depart.
Want all Firstborn freed from Amon aboard, Phasesmith. We must flee this world if we are to survive.
As you command. Engineering, and last of the 3 great Ark ships, each created to ensure the continuation of our culture in a dark time. Within its chambers rest contingents of zealots, Templar who bravely sacrificed, entering suspension so that they may serve as this vessel's army. Though it pains me greatly, I have begun severing their nerve cords. The ship's lower decks contain a star forge capable of constructing weapons of war. There is much to learn about this vessel. Its technology is ancient, yet highly advanced. We are aboard a relic from a glorious time, when our culture shined as a constellation. The Celestial Array has been updated, Hierarch. From here, you may select our next point of travel.
With this vessel, we will avenge what has transpired, Karax, and we will free the Templar. The Solar Matrix Core. Truly an impressive sight.
A synthetic star. Imagine what went into its creation. This chamber provides power to the Spear of Adun and all its systems. Its radiance even contributes nourishment for our warriors.
How long until you can bring its tactical systems online?
System analysis has begun, but the star has lain dormant for an eon. It will take time, and a powerful ignition catalyst like solarite to restore it to full capacity.
Solarite? The Firstborn haven't utilized solarite in millennia.
This vessel is ancient, Hierarch. We will need to exhaust even unconventional resources if we are to bring it to bear.
Do what you can, Phase Smith. We will acquire what you need.
Very well. You may begin augmenting the solar core whenever you are ready. Select the core to start reviewing your options, Hierarch.
You look different, Phase Smith.
Ah, you must be referring to these mechanical arms. I constructed them to improve my efficiency while running the solar core. So far, they have been quite helpful.
A preserver? Released from stasis?
She still bears her nerve cords. She is tethered to the collar.
Hold. I am Rohana, Grand Preserver of the Valari, and your War Council advisor. You must be the Executor in command.
You are not possessed by the Dark One. How is this possible?
I feel darkness lingering at the edges of my every thought, but I am not corrupted. Preservers of my station have trained to control the Kala's every ripple. I assure you, I will stave off this evil and serve you better by doing so. As all preservers, I hold the memories and personalities of Protoss prior to my submission to stasis. This will allow me to contrast your tactical decisions with those of past executors. From this chamber, you will be able to make all military allocations.
I am Artanis, Hierarch of the Daylon. I lead all that is left of our civilization. Your memories are indeed of use, Rohana. But make no mistake. If you fall to this corruption, I will not hesitate to destroy you.
It is understood. I am prepared for the Firstborn's darkest hour. Come, let me show you what may be done here.
I have heard only tales of the Grand Preservers. I did not expect to encounter one aboard this vessel.
That is not surprising, Hierarch. My sisters and I are unique, trained from birth to master every intricacy of the Kala. I have experienced its true depth, plunged the infinite spectrum of emotion and memory. It is because of this gift we were selected to enter stasis, so that we may guide you in our most dire hour.
Your sisters were aboard the other Ark ships? Then they...
Are one with the Kala, fallen during the Zerg invasion of Ire. I know this. I feel the tragedy that has befallen us, more deeply than you may realize.
A terrible burden has been laid upon you, Rohana.
Yet it is my fate to bear it. A fate foreseen by the same minds that constructed this vessel. I trust in their wisdom, Hierarch. I will serve my purpose, much as you must serve yours.
Karax, even without the Kala's light, I can sense your sadness, your pain. Does the Spear of Adun bring you no joy?
That is just it, Hierarch. Without the Kala, it is as if I am blind. I cannot sense your feelings, know the true depth of your thoughts. I cannot call upon the surety of other phase-smiths. I am... alone.
I feel the isolation as well, as though thrashing within the vacuum of space. But you are not alone, brother.
To think, the Dark Templar have endured this existence all this time. The days ahead will not be easy.
We may not have the Kala to rely on, Karax, but we still stand as one. We will endure. There is no other option.
fortress is overrun. Loss of life is extensive. Hold. We are receiving a transmission.
Praise the gods. Artanis, you live.
Matriarch Vorazun, what has happened here?
Shakuras has fallen. The warp gate linking this world to Ire has been reopened. Countless hybrid and Zerg pour from the other side. They've obliterated our cities, decimated our Shadow Guard. We are trying to evacuate the remaining population, but I am uncertain whether we can hold long enough to get them safely away.
We will give you the time you need, Matriarch. My Templar are inbound.
My Dark Templar were tracking your invasion on Ire when we were cut off. Then the warp gate opened. What happened, Artanis?
Amon used the collar to seize control of the Templar. I could feel his rage tearing through me, and I was powerless against it. Zeratul found me. It was there that he...
Yes?
He tried to free me. And he succeeded, at the cost of his own life. He fell by my hand.
It was Amon's deed, not yours.
Zeratul came to me with a warning, but I did not act. Because of this, he is now gone, and the stars burn dimmer for his loss. Amon's deed or not, I carry a burden, Matriarch. One that cannot be easily lifted.
Shakuras teams with Amon's Zerg broods. We hold only the southwest quadrant of Telemetros, and even that is in peril. We must evacuate our people, but the launch bays have been defiled with infestation. Only ground forces can clear them. Once the bays are free, the planetary warp conduit will allow our ships to escape safely.
The launch bays will be cleared. Your people will survive, Matriarch. This I swear.
Artanis, I'm detecting a rift opening near your position. Avoid Thrasher. By the gods, it's sieging the warp conduit!
Karax, are any of the Spear of Idun's weapon systems ready for use?
Orbital strike is online. Designating targets.
The Thrasher has been weakened. Warriors, move in and seal its fate. The launch bays have been reclaimed. Matriarch, you may complete the evacuation.
You have saved my people, Artanis, and they will never forget it. Despite this tragedy, I am pleased to see you once more, Hierarch. I had hoped that our next interaction would be your announcement of Ire's reclamation.
As did I. Instead, the Templar have fallen.
Then the threat is greater than I realized.
We cannot let the same fate befall Shakuras.
It is too late for that. Amon Zerg poured through the warp gate as a tide of flesh and blade. They have already overrun Telemetros and are nearing the shrines of Lazul. This world is lost. With such an infestation, Shakuras must be destroyed.
Destroy Shakuras? I will not permit this.
Permit? Shakuras was my people's home long before we offered yours sanctuary upon it. I will not let this world be a den for Amon's forces. Worlds may fall to ash. What matters is that we endure.
To lose Shakuras and Ire.
We are a vagabond people, Artanis. Our true home has always been Ire. Let us reclaim it together.
It is fitting that the daughter of Raja Gal decides the fate of the world she helped forge. Let us make preparations at once.
Of all the Templar, you never wavered in the belief that our two peoples could live in unity. It is something I admired in you.
It is ironic to hear you say this. All this time, I believed you were reluctant to accept the unity I sought.
You and I had many a disagreement in the Twilight Council. For day by day, I saw my people losing what they were. I saw our precious old ways erode.
You wished to preserve them.
I am Nerazim, Dark Templar. I hold great pride in my people.
But you are also Protoss. That is the greater affiliation.
That is not what the Conclave believed when we were exiled long ago. Your kind had ire. Our culture is all we ever had.
All this time, this wretched little world was within striking distance of our fleets.
Much has changed since your era, Preserver. The Dark Templar are now our allies.
There was a time when the Protoss were broken. Throughout the aeon of strife, we tore at each other with wanton abandon. Only one path was ever found to end the madness and unify our people. The Kala. The Dark Ones rejected its light. They denied their own race. How can you fight for them?
For one so sworn to preserve our history, Rohana, how can you be so blind to its turn?
I see I have offended you, Hierarch. My apologies. Adapting to this period is difficult.
Tell me, Vorazun, how will we bring destruction to your world?
The Zelnaga Temple's phase prism can be overloaded, forcing a spike of energy into the planet's core. Enough of a charge, and the planet will shatter. Amon will not possess my world.
I have been thinking about this choice.
Are you reconsidering?
No. My time here has reminded me of the courage of your people. That we must fight. If we are to suffer, then so too will Amon. We will lure as many of Amon's hybrid and Zerg through the gateway as we can. Only once enough are through to wound him will we overload the temple and flee.
You mean to bleed him? Bold. But we can't risk the forces it would require to do such a thing.
Leave that to me, Matriarch. I have learned much from the Dark Templar.
Our forces have secured the Zelnaga Temple grounds. Artanis, how go your preparations?
I am configuring the temple now, but without the Uraj and the Callus, it will take time.
Time is not all it will take. The temple's energies are regulated by 3 Zenith Stones. Only once they are destroyed can the temple be overloaded.
Until then, we must defend it from the Zerg and their hybrid masters.
The Nerazim have long used Kadaran monoliths to protect our lands. I see your Phasesmith has become familiar with them.
Indeed, Matriarch. The monoliths are quite deadly and fire a considerable distance. They should prove instrumental in our defense.
The moment has come. Let us begin. Templar, initiate dimensional recall. Get to safety, now!
The Zerg are poised to breach the temple.
Have faith, Matriarch. Your fallen people cry out for vengeance, and they shall have it.
Of our kind suffer, separated from the glory of the Kala. Generation after generation, choose the mantle of Dark Templar.
The Nerazine fought valiantly beside us, even unto the destruction of their world. Why?
Their homeworld has always been Ire. They have never forgotten it, or the sacrifice that delivered them to safety.
You speak of Adun. So saith Judicator Zentheon. Adun failed to eradicate the rogue tribes, those who call themselves the Dark Templar. We witnessed the burst of the Twilight Star. In that treasonous instant, Adun ushered the heretics and himself to fate, purifying Ire of their taint, but allowing them life.
Treason? Adun chose mercy rather than committing genocide. This was a noble act, Preserver.
Was it? I see history through the eyes of those who lived it, Artanis.
Perhaps this is why you are blind to all that is before you. History's truths are only ever understood looking through the backwards lens, seeing its consequences take root.
As a preserver, I have always experienced history as a living, breathing now, as those who experienced it in the moment did. Perhaps I should consider the way you view it.
Shakuras is gone. It has become one with the eternal night. But the traditions we forged there will remain with us forever.
Is that still possible, Matriarch?
More so than you may realize. What do you know of the Shadow Walk, Artanis?
Little. Your people closely guard their customs.
It is our most sacred rite of passage. The Initiate stands alone. Members of her tribe strike against her from the shadows. If she endures, she becomes a Shadow Hunter, true Dark Templar.
Why do you speak of this?
You stood alone, as Dark Templar, against countless enemies, risking your life for the many. You have walked as we have. You have walked the shadow path already, Artanis. You no longer have the Kala. You are Dark Templar.
Evasive war!
Protoss vessel, this is Commander James Raynor. Artanis? There, ain't you a sight for sore eyes?
Friend Raynor, you seem rather occupied.
Just another day at the office.
Who are these insurgents?
Call themselves Mobius Corps, an elite guard that used to work for Dr. Narud. They've been striking worlds throughout the sector, leaving few survivors. Each world attacked reported hybrid leaving them.
Then truly, no world is beyond Amon's reach.
Reinforce those bulkheads. Reposition the Mark 7 Alpha. We need to form a battle line. They've overrun Sky Shield, our orbital defense platform. Looks like they've destroyed its atmospheric stabilizers. It's falling fast. If it crashes, it'll obliterate August ground.
We will ensure that does not happen, Commander. Engage their fleet and keep their assault at bay.
Like old times, buddy. Like old times.
I must remind you, our sacred law, the Deul, clearly forbids us to interfere with lesser beings, unless there is a direct threat to the Empire. Your choice to aid these Terrans is perplexing.
Why do you assume that they are lesser beings, Rohana?
I do not make an assumption. Gaze upon them. Unsophisticated, primitive. They communicate through orifices, mouths.
Many, including myself, once thought as you do. but I have seen their nobility. In time, you will also. It seems fate has drawn us together once again, James Raynor.
I'd call it luck.
Luck is a concept that is purely human in origin. We Protoss see the synchronicity of events and know there is a grander design behind them.
Well, it don't matter how you see it. The result's the same. So what brought you all the way out here, Artanis?
Zeratul believed that the artifact in your possession, the Keystone, he called it, could guide us to the Xel'Naga.
Where's Zeratul now?
The Dark Prelate fell on Ire. His last hope was that I would continue his quest and find a way to stop Amon.
Damn it. Always knew there was only one way this quest of his was gonna end.
His loss is great. I know you called him friend.
I went through hell to get that artifact because of his damned fool prophecies. Lost a lot of good men. If he wanted you to have it, take it. It's yours. Right now, though, we got a city to save. This ain't good. Sky Shield's not gonna last much longer. At this rate, we've got maybe 10 minutes left till it lands smack dab on our capital.
Your suspicions were correct, Commander. Mobius Core is disabling the platform's atmospheric stabilizers as we speak.
The damage appears repairable, Hierarch.
Yeah, assuming Mobius Core leaves anything left to repair. Artanis, if you can clear out those troops, my boys can patch up those stabilizers. That should buy us some extra time.
We must move quickly. It will take the combined power of all 5 stabilizers to halt the platform's descent.
Friend Raynor, Sky Shield has been stabilized, and Mobius Core is retreating.
Admiral Horner will take control of the station from here. Gotta say, I owe you big time for this one, partner. That's a hell of a thing your boys did, Artanis. Sky Shield is back online. We're about to call down the cavalry.
We will join you on the surface and extract the Keystone.
I got some bad news for you. Seems our friends below had the same idea. While we were fighting to get planetside, the Imperial Palace was raided. Security data indicates the Keystone was taken. My mama used to have a saying, when it rains, it floods.
I am uncertain as to how this saying is helpful, friend Raynor.
Me either. Wait a minute. I'm getting intel. A Mobius Core evac team is headed toward Bennett Port. They got the Keystone.
We shall not let them escape.
It's looking bad, Artanis. A lot of dead people down there. We gotta take these bastards out.
What could have led these Terrans to come under Amon's thrall?
They were assigned to some top-secret details, running security at Dr. Narud's hybrid research labs. After Valerian re-established the government, the Mobius Foundation went dark. Last transmissions were chaotic, crazed. Next thing we know, the attack started.
Then Amon has turned them into his slaves, an army. They are dangerous, but they are only the start of the war to come.
You always were the optimistic sort. Welcome to Bennett Port, at least what's left of it. Mobius Corps entrenched themselves here to keep us from the artifact. Valerian's setting up his base now. Once he gets...
Raynor, what is happening?
The hybrid are channeling void energy into the Keystone. The resulting psionic disruption has overwhelmed the Terrans.
Deploy our immortals. We need heavy assault to protect these Terrans until the disruption subsides.
Man, that's 2 I owe you, Artanis. Felt like I was losing my damn mind.
The Keystone is recharging, Commander. They will surely activate it again soon. We must reclaim it.
You ain't kidding. Let's lock and load, partner. Well, that did it. We pushed Mobius Core back. Damn. Look at this place. Even the Zerg didn't tear into the city like this.
Did you know this warrior?
No. But I know his story. I know all their stories. None of them ever think it'll end like this. Reports been coming in from all over. Dominion worlds overrun. Outposts destroyed. A lot more dead boys out there. Warriors.
Death is the fate of all warriors. A fate we too may soon embrace.
Fate ain't written, Artanis. Way I see it, if Zeratul believed you could make a difference in all this, then this fight's just begun.
It is your custom to shake the hand of a friend, is it not?
Give him hell, Artanis.
Rohana! Preserver. Rohana!
Artanis.
Amon.
I see your doubt, your fear. You were so alone, mewling in the darkness. Let me release you, all of you, from the suffering of this life. The infinite cycle of strife and anguish is at an end.
Your words are little more than poison, Amon. Your actions bring nothing but death.
They bring purpose, an end to a cycle none within had chosen. Your resistance will only bring unneeded suffering.
It has passed, Hierarch. He is gone.
Do you see now why you must separate from the Kala? Its light has faded.
I will keep him at bay. I will endure. I have felt his rage, seen his truth.
If you will not sever your connection to the Kala, then you will be contained, kept in stasis.
I will preserve the Kala however I must. If I must endure imprisonment, so be it.
Look here, Hierarch. This material self-regenerates. It is no wonder the research of the Terrans claimed it to be from a recent epoch. My projections place it at several billion years old, if not more.
Zeratul's vision said that this keystone can guide us unto hope. What do you think it means?
Yes, guide us. It is a code wanting to be cracked. The keystone seems to be able to manipulate energies, but that may not be its sole purpose. I believe it stores its origin point within.
Its origin point?
Yes, I promise you, I will find out how this will lead us to the Xel'Naga.
Redouble your efforts, Karax. There is little time.
This war has only begun. It is one that will test our every limit.
Zeratul believed that the Xel'Naga lived, and that they would aid us.
I have heard his prophecies as well. It is said that the Xel'Naga come from a world that exists where none should. From there, all life in our universe takes its root. Our forebears searched for it, but nothing beyond legend was ever found.
And you? Do you believe as Zeratul did?
Zeratul killed my mother, Artanis. I will always hate him for this. I will always hold him in the highest contempt.
Raja Gal was corrupted by the Queen of Blades, Matriarch.
Yes, I know that now. Reason has no bearing on emotion. Our kind embraces this more than yours.
Zeratul grieved for her as well. His sense of guilt drove him to uncover the ancient prophecies, to find hope for our people.
You will forgive me if I do not place my faith in the words of an exile.
Hey there, your royalness? Man, this is weird. I've never talked to no Protoss before. Hey.
If I have learned one thing from your commander Raynor, it is that we are not so different, Rory Swan. Continue your report.
Right. So, the artifact, the keystone thingy's all yours. We're in the middle of transmitting all our data to your engineer.
You have my thanks. Please relay my appreciation to Commander Raynor.
Hey, you got it, Skippy.
Skippy? Glacius facility. Within lies the greatest weaponry the Empire ever developed.
It is the site of the Purifier Revival Program.
Purifiers? The forbidden weapon? They were sealed away by the Conclave, never to be restored.
The ancient purifiers are not kept here, Preserver. They are still locked away. Here, on Glacius, our researchers have been developing prototype weaponry inspired by that ancient technology.
You speak above your caste, Kalai. This is unimaginable heresy.
We are outmatched by Amon's forces and facing annihilation. If this technology may help us, we will use it.
Attacking the facility.
Amon has unleashed his servants. Ready our warriors!
The Tal'Darim. They have not been seen since the Aeon of Strife, before the Protoss were united by the Kala's light.
I'm afraid they returned some time ago, Rohana. We thought them fanatical servants of the Xel'Naga for years, but in truth, they had enslaved themselves to Amon.
Why would any being willingly follow Amon?
That is unclear. The Tal'Darim call themselves the Chosen. What Amon has chosen them for, we do not know. They are dangerous foes who have helped forge the hybrid and shed blood in the name of our great enemy.
Protoss turned upon Protoss. The Deul demands retribution for such offense. They must be destroyed.
If it is their fate, it shall be.
The Purifier weaponry that has been researched here could prove to be a valuable addition to our arsenal.
That is what I am hoping. Is there any merit to Rohana's fears?
The Kalai on Glacius have prototyped the technology with successful results. It is said that these experimentations are no different than the Templar they are replications of, a byproduct of quantum predictive analytics.
They were and are still only machines. Do not give them such credence, Karax.
We too are machines of a biological nature. I often marvel at the architecture, the design, the careful construction of our form, our machinery. The Xel'Naga forged us as we forged the original purifiers. Hierarch, the Tal'Darim are unleashing their mothership's phase displacement beam against Glacius's orbital defenses.
I am First Ascendant Alarak, and I've been charged with destroying this facility. You seek the technology vault, but you are too late. It will be annihilated along with the rest of this pathetic world. Use your time to withdraw from the system, or remain here and watch your forces burn to ash. I care little which you choose.
He is not entirely correct. If we begin now, our forces could outpace the displacement beam.
Then we are going in.
Acquiring access.
Work quickly, Faye Smith.
Focus the disruptor on their location. Let them burn.
I have its coordinates. Warping aboard the container now.
You are not as weak as you appear, Artanis. We shall meet again.
The Purifier weaponry is safely aboard the Spear of Adun. Wait, there is a prototype warrior here as well. I will have to examine it more closely.
You wish to see me, Faye Smith?
Artanis, it is good to see you, young Executor.
Phoenix? How can this be?
It was his cloned personality that was used for the Purifier prototype. Given your friendship with the Source personality, I thought, well, he believes he was brought from stasis and made a Dragoon.
Why are you here, Phoenix?
I was given a directive by Aldaris himself to come to Glacius and serve the Templar.
It is the last recollection from his memory web. The Great Templar were still encoded by order of the Conclave.
Do you know about the experimentation done on Glacius? Why Aldaris gave you this order?
I am a warrior, old friend. You know this as well as any. It is not my place to question the order of Adjudicator.
His construction is highly advanced, an Adanium shell composed of a trillic compression mesh. It appears he was to be the first in a revival of the ancient program.
Enough! I have fought far too long for the will of the Conclave to be examined like some specimen. I am Templar, and I am reunited with the dearest of friends. Is this not a glorious day?
You are right, of course. Karax, these tests are no longer needed. Phoenix, welcome aboard the Spear of Adun.
These new Purifier designs rival any technology our people have previously conceived. The replication data is the sort that allows accurate duplication of one's consciousness. Phoenix's personality may be accurate.
How accurate?
Within the 99th percentile.
So there is a chance for discrepancy.
Quite a minuscule one.
And in a lifetime, how many choices does that variation impact? Who would you be with such a difference in the decisions you've made? Keep a watchful eye on Phoenix. If he is to help us, I want to know who he is.
You and I have stood shoulder to shoulder, blades drumming in the heat of battle countless times, and now you lead the Protoss. I wail with pride at the mere thought of it.
I was chosen to represent the hierarchy by the remaining Judicators and the clans of the Nerazim. I am still honored by their choice.
Tassadar must be proud as well.
Tassadar is gone, Phoenix. He fell, bravely sacrificing for his people. He saved us from annihilation.
What? It cannot be. And Ire? Fallen to the Zerg as well?
It has.
How long have I lingered in stasis, becoming this Dragoon?
Do you know of the Purifier program, Phoenix?
Of course. The greatest Templar minds replicated. Dangerous machines that had to be shut down.
They were shut down, but we have never ceased the research, and still have tried to find ways to replicate our greatest Templar, to use that ancient technology.
Why do you tell me this?
We are facing a war like none we have seen before. We will need you in the days ahead. Maybe even the Purifiers.
Then my blades are yours, old friend.
Seeing Phoenix once more perplexes me. I feel sadness, but I should feel joy.
It is said the warrior Phoenix was felled by the Queen of Blades. This approximation is not Phoenix, but he is a reminder of the loss you suffered.
His voice, thoughts, his very presence. He describes memories we shared with such vivid recollection. Every instinct I have tells me that this is my friend, but all logic defies it.
We of the Nerazim often ponder whether our people are the sum total of their experiences, or are more than them, a truth lingering inside us. In time, we shall see if this Phoenix has his own truth, or is little more than a flawed forgery.
Hierarch, I see the master construction of the Zelnaga now. Their understanding that energy, essence, and information are all one. Each interchangeable, each mutable.
Then you uncovered the information Zeratul foresaw within this keystone.